Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. Welcome, welcome. We are going to be talking about air quality and pollution, and does it affect intelligence? If I could get that out, that'd be great. But before we do that, I'm just going to give a couple of minutes for people to jump in here, and so we're going to talk about that and what effects pollution is having on people and those type of things. And so anyway, as anybody knows, first of all, before we really jump in everything, hit 75,000 subscribers. I actually hit it late last night, and so I announced my giveaway today. Okay, so I'm going to be giving away 260 meal buckets from Legacy Foods, and then I'm going to give away a $50 gift card and a $25 gift card. So I had somebody made a comment, and I just want to clarify 100%. They said, "Well, you work for Legacy Foods, you're so." I'm like, "No, I don't work for Legacy Foods. I'm a reseller for Legacy Foods. Big difference. I don't work for the company. I just sell their product." Okay, so, but anyway, I don't get any kind of, I don't get things for free. So when I'm saying that I'm giving 60 meal buckets away, I have to pay for that. Just to be clear on that, it's not like oh yeah, give me a couple of buckets to give away. It's not like that. Okay, so I have to pay for those, just so it's very clear to people about that. So anyway. I'm going to ask everybody to please keep this very family friendly. It's a very family friendly oriented channel. And so, no swearing, no nastiness. Please don't be nasty to each other in the chat. If you do, my awesome moderators that you will see lit up in blue, they will boot you out of here if you do. And every time we get somebody that has to try to say what they're going to say, and, my guys are right on top of it. So please, can't wait for 1 million subs, James. Hey, that would be awesome. I'll tell you what, if I get to that point, I can do a lot of really good stuff if I get to that point. And so, but, and I'll talk about that in a second too. But anyway, just be decent to each other. When I'm done talking, just please all cap lock so it stands out for me. I've talked about this a little bit before. There's a guy whose channel, and I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head now, and he's got 1 million plus subscribers. And what this guy does is he'll do random videos. And like one of the things that he did was he was going up and he was knocking on people's doors, and he was asking them what their rent or their mortgage payment was. And then he just gave them the money for that next month's payment. I think that's an awesome thing to do. If you are in that position where you're doing really, really well, and you have that opportunity to give back like that, absolutely. So my game plan down the road, if I ever get to that point, making really huge YouTube money, I would love to be able to help other starting preppers, people that are starting to go off grid. Maybe they have a small channel and they're trying to get things going and they need help. And that's what I want. Those are people I want to help. I want to help people that want to live the same lifestyle that I'm living. And it's not easy. Okay. So people that think, oh yeah, well, I want to go off grid. It's going to be all great and wonderful and, rainbows and sparkles. It's going to be fantastic. It's a lot of hard work, but it's okay. So what kind of fish for my fish tank? I'm going to go with, perch. I'm going to go, I was talking to my neighbor and they said that perch would be the best thing because I need a cold weather fish and perch would be better for that. I heard bluegill are good as well, but I'm probably going to do perch up here. So anyway, so let's get into topic. Okay. So anyway, so I talked about, there was a study done and I wanted to talk about this. Now this study was done in China. Okay. Which I found very interesting because China has a tremendous amount of pollution. And actually there was in India, I think it was recently, one of the major cities in New Delhi or in India, they had a lot of problems with pollution. It was really, really bad. But anyway, so they did a study on 20,000 people, okay, through all rich, poor, whatever, okay? And they said the air pollution definitely causes the reduction in intelligence. And that doesn't surprise me because if you think about it, now I've lived in the city, I've lived in the country, I've lived in suburbia, and air quality definitely makes a big difference. I mean, if you've ever been in this city and that's different smells that you smell, it's just some of it is really, really nasty. And so Congratulations on 75,000. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know it's like it's amazing. It's just like I was jamming along like a freaking rocket, and I thought for sure that this year I was going to hit 100,000 subscribers and the whole 9 yards. And then YouTube did what they did, and I went from and I've talked about this before. I was getting 100 plus subscribers a day at one point. It was unbelievable. That was going. Then YouTube changed their algorithms, and the next thing I know, I was like, I was having days where I was negative, where I would pick up 3 or 5, and it was a whole game that was being played. And I get it. And what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about it. So, hey Denise, thank you very much. She said happy Thanksgiving and to everyone. Yeah, you know what? My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Absolutely love Thanksgiving. So really looking forward to it. Looking forward to spending that time with my family, and it's a great time to get together with family if you have a good relationship with them. So that definitely helps. Okay, so anyway, I was going to talk about this. It says that now this is according to what this study that they said 95% of the people in the world are breathing unsafe air. I don't know if I agree with that 100% because once you get out into the country more, the air quality is much, much better. So I don't know. I mean, I realize that most of the people are jammed into cities. And hey, Jazz, when will you pick the winners? Thank you for that donation, by the way. I probably trying to think what day would be a good day for picking the winners. Let's see. So it's Sunday now. Probably Thursday. I'm thinking Thursday. Oh, no, Thursday's Thanksgiving. Never mind. Why don't we say what we'll do a Friday? We'll do the drawing for the winners on Friday. That way it gives people 4 or 5 days to get in there and gets signed up for the contest. So I think we'll do it Friday. So that'll be the day. Okay. I'll probably do a video on Thursday, but everybody's going to be spending time with their families, including myself. So But all right, so but again, I don't believe that 95% of people are breathing poor air. I think that like in the cities, I think a lot of people in the cities are having poor air quality, and a lot of it comes from from cars. Believe it or not, you look at places like LA and those type of places with the really, really just major congestion. And the traffic is terrible. That's no fun at all. That is no fun at all. So, so high pollution levels show in high pollution areas like the major cities and stuff like that. It showed that people have lower test scores in math and languages. Okay, so it's like it's the equivalent of losing what they're saying according to the study that was done by Yale. It's the equivalent of losing a year worth of education. So it's and here's the funny thing with that, it's worse on older people. So and I think that's more of the circulation at that point because their circulation isn't as good. But they said people that are over 64 are more prone to have issues with air quality. With the pollutants, it affects them more, and especially men for whatever reason. But but this is like I said, this was a test study that was done in China. So, but you look at some of the places around, even the United States, that are really, really congested, a tremendous amount of people. Look at New York City and the traffic that's in New York City. And now I know a lot of people do the subway or taxis and stuff like that too, but I've been down in New York City. I've been down there a couple different times, see the Yankees play and stuff like that. And the traffic is insane. I mean, it is insane. So, I wonder if it contributes to dementia. You know what? I don't know if that would happen or not, to be honest with you. I have no idea if that would really. It could be a factor, but you figure dementia affects so many different people. I think there's a lot of other factors that go in with dementia as well. It's really, really hard to say. There's a lot of they've done a tremendous amount of studies on that. I've worked in my nursing career a ton with Alzheimer's, dementia people, everybody from farmers to city folks. So there's really not a rhyme or reason to it as far as that goes. Environmentally, I could see where it would definitely affect things a little bit more if you're breathing nasty, poisonous air all the time. But dementia is a whole different animal. I mean, it's a horribly sad thing. I mean, really, really sad. I live less than a quarter mile from a refinery, and the smell is atrocious. Yeah, Caroline, that can't be fun. Yeah, that smell's got to be awful. But and again, it's like when you're around that type of stuff all the time. So here's a great example, and I've mentioned this before. My cousin used to live in the city of Rochester, and he lived there a couple of years. I can't remember how many, 3-4 years. And the street that he lived on was called Rand Street. So anybody from Rochester, if you guys are watching the channel, you probably know exactly where I'm talking about. Right behind Kodak, okay, Eastman Kodak Company. And they had on that street much higher levels of cancer than like anywhere else. And it was, seepage in from the soil and everything else. So it definitely, if you're around those type of things, those chemicals and all that, that's going to affect you. There's no way it can't. So JJ says paper mills are the worst. Okay, now that I did not know. I did not know that. Mr. Rose says chemtrails cause cancer. Yeah, all that crap that they're putting down on people that people are breathing in, it's crazy. I live where they say it's the highest cancer rating in America by the river in Ohio. That's not good, Ronnie. I would plan on moving. I mean, again, that's the beauty of where we live. We can move anytime we want to. Mountain Girl said it's hypothesized that air pollution and ambient noise can affect neuroconstructive function. Yeah, and that makes sense. All that, I'm going to tell you what, and I'm glad she did mention that, because noise in itself, if you are being bombarded constantly, that affects you. If you're living with and thank you very much for that donation too, by the way. But if you are living with that noise constantly bombarding you, it definitely affects you. It definitely affects you mentally. It'll drive you crazy after a while. That's why I couldn't wait to get out of the city. I couldn't wait to get back out of suburbia. I mean, I've taken you guys out here, and I actually shut up once in a while. And but I've done it. I've said, listen, I just want you to listen. And I was quiet, and you could hear nothing. You could hear the birds. It was peaceful. It's relaxing. It's definitely better for you mentally to be in that type of an environment, which is more calm and peaceful, because all that upset all the time. And I'm going to tell you what, people are a lot more stressed when you're in the cities and stuff like that too. Everybody's in a hurry. Nobody's relaxing. Nobody's taking their time. Everybody is rush. I have 24 grandkids. That's enough noise. Yeah, I can imagine that would be, Smitty. I can imagine that would be. In LA, we used to have smog alerts. Now no alerts and worse air quality. James said that. Yeah. Well, I remember that when they had those in LA. Yeah, and it's not like it's gotten any better. All the things that they've done. I actually watched a really interesting video. Today. It was a young man that lived in Sonoma, California. And he works up in San Francisco a lot. And I guess he drives truck. And he's 35. And he said, he goes, I guess I'm a millennial. He goes, I'm like borderline. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But he was born and raised in California. And he was talking about, he's got to move. He's got to get out of California. And one of the things one of the laws that they just passed, that beyond everything else, all the other crazy laws that have been passed in California, this one blew me away more than anything else, that it is perfectly legal to defecate in public. You can drop trow and take a dump right in the gutter. And that is amazing to me. Absolutely amazing that's okay. That's nuts. That's not okay. We're not some third world country. And, but that was just in San Francisco. Okay, well, that's where this guy was talking about. He was talking about, okay, well, if it was just passed in San Francisco, all right, I did not know that, Kevin. But even so, is that okay? I mean, really? I'm sorry, but if I'm out with wife and kids, and my kids are little. I don't want to watch somebody dropping their pants and taking a dump. I don't, I don't want to see that, especially in public. That's insanity. But now they've made it where it's okay. And I guess it's just in San Francisco. But like I said, guys, I was out there last year, and you can have it. You can keep it. I don't ever want to go back. I have no desire to ever go back to San Francisco ever again. Now, I will tell you what, San Simeon, I was in San Simeon as well. We were in Death Valley. That was pretty cool. San Simeon is right on the ocean. It was absolutely beautiful, nice area. But, again, San Francisco is a freaking cesspool. And if any of you guys are from San Francisco, I feel bad for you. I really, truly do. Because, like I said, I'm only going to talk about, like, with that, I have firsthand knowledge. I was there. I saw what it's like. And it's sad. Realistically, the drug issues are horrible. It just, the thievery. I mean, it was like what, while we were there, we had our van broken into. They never did nothing. The cops didn't even come. I had to call a number, okay, to fill out a report online days and days after this happened. And they, of course, they did nothing. And it was basically all for insurance, to do all the insurance stuff. That was it. So absolutely nuts, absolutely freaking crazy. And like I said, you can keep San Francisco. So yeah, but they did absolutely nothing. No, I mean, you figured they would come out and do. They don't care. No, they do not care. So, and so what does that do? The criminals have free reign, and they know it, and they're going to get away with it. So. And it's a sad situation. It really is. And I'm going to tell you right now, my gut feeling, they had valets that worked at this hotel we were at. And I truly believe that the valets were in with whoever it was, working with them to steal stuff. Because who else would know in a supposedly guarded parking lot who has what in their car? So, like I said, but, I mean, I can't say for sure, but like I said, that's my gut feeling on that. But it's unfortunate, and there's, like I said, you're a tourist. You're there for what, a day or two, and then you're gone. So it's just crazy. All that asphalt and concrete in cities has been hard on air quality. Well, yeah, because it's like, and it's so much hotter, and that's the other thing too, because it heats up, and it really doesn't cool down. And then when it's real, you ever see when it gets really, really hot? That there's a lot more crime and a lot more violence because people are angry and they're frustrated and they're it's insane. But anyway, this talking about that guy that I was watching, he was talking about that with driving the truck and stuff like that, and he was talking about some pier, and there's people there. They're on vacation and they're seeing seeing the seals and all this type of stuff. He goes, and there's defecation everywhere. So that's nuts. But anyway, but he was talking about, that for a 2-bedroom apartment, that he was paying $2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. And I'm like, my goodness, that's just, and then of course the gas prices in California are the worst anywhere in the country. I mean, he was saying that the gas prices are like $4.50 a gallon. And that's like the cheapest. So I know when we went out there last year, it was like $4 a gallon. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, it's crazy. Everything's more expensive. And he was also saying that of the people living in poverty, 1/3 of the people living in poverty in the country live in California. So it's insane. Yeah, that is insane for an apartment. You're absolutely right. I agree with you 100%. I mean, but, and he said, he goes, as worse he's at, he goes, that's not too bad. So I couldn't even imagine paying that kind of money for an apartment. I know you go to New York City, that's very expensive as well. But I have no desire, guys. That's why you have to put flowers in your hair. Right, exactly. To cover up the smell of feces. Oh. No, I'll tell you, when we were there, I'll tell you what I did. We were in San Francisco for 2 days, okay? It was, first of all, it was so ridiculously expensive. I mean, I went out and I got a small bowl of clam chowder, and I can't even remember what was with it, but it wasn't a whole lot. It was like $6 for that. And then of course, if you got a drink, you're looking at what, like $2 or $2.50 for Diet Coke. I mean, it was crazy. It was nuts. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I stayed in a hotel. I went out a couple times, and it was nuts. It was not my cup of tea. Put me out in the country, I'm happy. I don't want to be with all the crazy stuff with the city people. That's just, let's see. Let's see. Thank God my property's paid off. Yeah, I don't blame you there. Hey, Vincent Koch, if you have a chance, move out into the country, you should do it. Exactly. I would highly recommend anybody to get away from the insanity for several reasons. And, I'm going to go into my preaching mode, if you will. But if you can get out of the cities, guys, absolutely do it, because when SHTF does happen, which I do believe that it will, and thank you, Vincent, for that donation as well. I appreciate that. But if you can get out of the cities and do it now, because when SHTF happens, which, like I said, I truly believe that it will, that is going to be the very worst place that you could possibly be to get stuck. And there's a lot of good people in the city, guys. There's a lot of good people in the cities. So if you can do it, get out of there. And the best part is, once you get out of that environment, and if you move in, even if you move into a smaller town, you move into a town of 10,000, 5,000 people or smaller, then you get down about like towns of about 5,000. Everybody knows everybody. And once you've integrated yourself into that community and they know that you're a decent person, it's awesome. It really, really is. And it's an entirely different mindset. I know, okay, so and I'm going to give you an example of, and I think I probably have said this before, but I'm going to say it again. So when we first moved out here, I lived in Greece, New York, which is a suburb right outside of Rochester, New York, okay? And a lot of people, a lot of traffic. We were very close to 104, which is a very high traffic area. And so, but, we were off the beaten path a little bit, so we didn't hear all the traffic from 104. But anyway, so we moved out here, and we had gone into town, and we were going someplace. We had to cross the street. And, in New York, Rochester, in Greece, in those areas, you wait for the traffic, okay? You're going to wait because they're not going to stop for you. In this small town, you had people stopping their cars, waving you. They wave you across. And I'll never forget the first time it happened. I'm like, wow. I was shocked, absolutely shocked. But it's a different mindset once you get away from the city in that suburbia mentality and stuff like that. Will I have bees for my greenhouse? I will. Well, I'm going to have bees on the property because I have the beehive now. So in the spring, I will be getting a queen and stuff like that, and I'm going to get bees. And so we're definitely going to have that. And so, the greenhouse is going to have vents, which you'll see once I put everything together. So once, we get into warmer weather, those vents are going to be opened. So that way the bees can come in there and pollinate stuff and everything like that as well. So, yeah, I can't wait for that, because anybody that knows, I drink my tea with honey, and I try to buy local honey. I don't buy store-bought honey. So with being able to make my own honey from my own beehive, I can't wait. I mean, I cannot wait. So looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to that. Danny Prince says, I love the smell of farms. I got to tell you something about that. You're going to find this really weird. Really, really weird. And I'm going to tell you in just a second. So from the age of like 5 to 9, we were on a farm. Had a 72-acre farm. So we had cows, pigs, chickens, the whole 9 yards, geese, the whole thing. Okay. And ducks, of course, too. But so anyway, I had to, even at a young age, we had to clean out the stalls for the cows. And so that smell of cow feces doesn't bother me at all. To this day, it doesn't bother me at all. If I smell it, I'm like, it's not that bad. But other people are like, oh my God, the smell of cow, poop and stuff. But it's a smell of home, I guess. It's weird. I don't even know how to explain that. But just because I grew up around that, I thought it was awesome. Bee pollen is the bomb. Yeah, I can't, like I said, cannot wait to have my own honey that came out of my own hive. I am really, really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. So obviously I have the one hive. I want to see how that goes. And if it goes well, then I plan on adding another hive after that. But what I'll probably end up doing is I was going to originally go up on top of the hill, but then somebody reminded me. One of my neighbors said, well, we have black bears up here and they love honey. So I was like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea then. So what I'm going to probably do is behind the house over that way, I'm going to set it up over there and try to set something up around it so that it's kind of like an enclosed area. And so they have some kind of protection, meaning the bees. So we'll see how it goes. I'll figure something out, but they're going to be closer than I had anticipated originally. But I don't. The bees don't bother. If you're, you don't act afraid. You're going to be fine. But they're going to help. It's a that symbiotic relationship. They're doing for you. You're doing for them. You're giving them a nice, safe environment, and that's going to be cool. I can't wait. Let's see. Go chain link fence then, 10 feet high. Yeah, I might do something like that because it's like I don't have to have it a big, huge thing. I can do a smaller thing, like even a 10-foot circumference around that beehive, where I just have a door that I can get in, and then they're protected. So yeah, I would probably I may I don't know if I go 10 feet high, but I definitely probably do something like chain link. Electric fence. You know what? That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, especially at night. I have a friend who feels sorry for me because I live way out. I feel sorry for her because she lives in a big metro area. I hear you. You know what? It's a personal preference and it's a choice. Now, when when we lived in suburbia, everything was 5 minutes away. I mean, literally, we want to go to the movies, 5 or 10 minutes max. But I want to go to the movies, go get something to eat. All the fast food restaurants were right there. The grocery stores were right there. So, it was very, very convenient. And but do you give up peace of mind for convenience? I didn't want to, so I for me, it's like getting out here much, much better. Oh, South Carolina, love South Carolina. I love South Carolina, North Carolina. I lived in North Carolina for a year. I absolutely like Tennessee, West Virginia, up in the mountains and all those areas there. I love it. Absolutely love that area. It's just absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, if I ever do relocate, it would probably either be one of two places. It's probably going to be South Carolina in the mountains, or it'll be Tennessee in the mountains. I still have to be up in the high elevation. I like the change of season, but I like the fact that if once you get down there, the change of season is not anywhere near like it is up here. But you know what? At this point, like I said, Heather's going to have 5 years of college, and by the time she gets done, I'll have this place pretty squared away at that point. So I really don't see myself leaving at that point. I mean, we got to deal with New York state laws. It's a pain in the butt. It's ridiculous, but there's nothing you can do about it. It is the way it is. So if it ever gets to a point where I've had enough, then I'll leave. But obviously I'm going to wait until Heather's done with college before I ever thought about making that decision. How is your generator running? No issues with my generator at all. None. Actually, yesterday, I'm like, I got to change the oil in the generator. So I changed the oil out and got that redone. So what is the giveaway and how do we register? Okay, Kathy, the giveaway is for me hitting 75,000 subscribers. The video that I did earlier today, you'll see the title is 75,000 subscriber giveaway. Okay. You go in there. You have to be subscribed to the channel. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. So you have to be a subscriber, thumbs up the video, and make a comment on the video, and then you're registered for the giveaway. So I think last I looked, it was like 600 plus comments. I don't even know exactly. I'd have to go back and look and see. But so there's going to be a lot of people registered for the giveaway. I'm giving away 2 60 meal buckets from Legacy Foods. And I'm giving away a $50 gift card and a $25 gift card. So I'm absolutely going to be doing that, and looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing how fast it takes me to get to 100,000. I think it's going to be fun. Guys, I'm going to tell you what, this has been a fantastic journey. I really, really have truly enjoyed it. Let's see, what was that? What do I eat and drink every day? I don't know what just regular food. I mean, I just went today and I picked up celery, carrots, um, lettuce, radishes, cauliflower, broccoli. Love eating those, and I cannot wait to be able to grow a lot of that for myself and have my own stuff. So I can't wait. Still a wonderful journey, absolutely, James. It is. It's things change. Obviously, situations change. Your kids grow up, they leave, which is what I'm experiencing for the first time. That part's been weird. It really has. Now, obviously, like with Heather, like okay, so her last day of school this week is on Wednesday. I think no. Does she have school Wednesday? I think Monday and Tuesday she has school. Then Wednesday they're off. Yeah, so they're off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So she's going to go to her mom's for Thanksgiving, and then I'll go to my sister's and with my mom and stuff like that over there, and then I'll pick Heather up on Friday. Eddie said he doesn't want to come back yet, and that's fine. So I'll pick Heather up on Friday at her mom's. I'll bring her back home, and then she'll spend the weekend with me, and then I'll take her back, to the college on Sunday. So you guys might see her in a live chat on Friday then, because she'll be with me. So, but yeah, so that's what that's. But yeah, it's definitely different. She can't stand that going to the store all the time. Oh, is that what a problem is? Okay, I got it. Yeah, some people are like that, like I said, for me, I would rather have the peace. I like the peace. Now, I haven't even asked yet, guys. We're already a half an hour into the chat, so I got to do this because, first of all, my trolls absolutely hate it, so I have to do it. If you haven't shot us a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, that would be fantastic, and I would appreciate that. So thank you for that ahead of time. But, yeah, it's the journey for me still is I enjoy it. I absolutely love where I live. I have good neighbors, which makes things a lot nicer. And, what part of Tennessee? I'm not sure, Kathleen Jackson. In the mountains somewhere. If I went down that way, it would definitely be in the mountains. So I would have basically what I would have to do if I ever make the decision that I'm leaving New York and I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go down and I'm going to explore. I'm going to do a vacation and I'm going to explore the mountains in South Carolina. I'll explore the mountains in North Carolina. I'll go into, Tennessee and check all that out and stuff as well. And I'll figure out where I want to be centrally located at that point. So, I would have to find a perfect property for what I want, and again, so there's different things that I have on my checklist that have to be there. So, but again, you know what? I don't mind the winters. It's just that they're so freaking long. That's the only part that's not so much fun. But what do I think of the coming to Montana? You know what? I love that area out there, but I'll tell you, there's one hesitation that I have for going west, and it's just my own thing for me, and that's Yellowstone, to be honest with you. I love Colorado. I think Colorado's a beautiful, beautiful state. Montana as well. Idaho, all those areas. There's some beautiful, beautiful areas out there. And I know there's a ton of preppers out in that area. There's a ton, and I know that. And so if I ever went that way, I know I would connect with a lot of good people. But the thing that's, like I said, the thing that scares me logistically is too close to Yellowstone. And that's when that bad boy goes, you better be ready for that. I mean, that better be part of your plans for your preps. So scary stuff. So that would be the only reason that I would never want to go out in that area. I love that area. I love the wilderness and the vastness of it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Deep South, be careful of the snakes. Yeah, well, like I said, I would be in the mountains if I go down south. So you're going to still deal with snakes, of course, but you deal with snakes everywhere. We have snakes here. Now, we don't have a lot of poisonous snakes up here, so that's a good thing. But like I said, my thing, like I said, I like it here. This is home. When I went down south and I lived in North Carolina, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Family issues happened here, and I needed to come home to take care of some business. And had the chance to go back to school, and then, almost 30 years later, here I am still here. So, what are you going to do? It happens. So, how about Wisconsin? Wisconsin's not a bad area. Again, I would have to find like Upper PI or Upper Peninsula in Michigan, or not Michigan, Minnesota. Yeah, Michigan too. Michigan has it. Does Michigan have the Upper PI? Upper Peninsula. I'm trying to think. Is that Michigan or is that Minnesota? Guys, somebody's got to tell me so I know what I don't want to. It's Michigan. The UP, yeah, it's Michigan. Okay, I just want to be 100% sure because I don't want to say it wrong. But yeah, no, that area up through there, a lot of wilderness. Minnesota, a lot of wilderness up there. Very, very cool. Again, so yeah, UP's in Michigan. Okay, cool. But up in that area, I mean, that's some pretty wild wilderness up there, and I think that would be really, really cool too. Again, you still have to deal with inclement weather, So if I was going to move, away from here and I wanted to be in warmer weather, I would definitely go south. So, yeah, Michigan. Okay. Thank you guys. But anyway, like I said, it's just, but being away from the cities is just, it's better for you physically. It's better for you mentally. Again, the air quality is so much better out in the countries. It's unbelievable. It makes such a big difference. Yeah, the Ozarks too. Yeah, I've heard that's a great area too. The Ozarks, I heard, are a real good area. So, like I said, I got to have my woods. I got to have my trees. I got to have my mountains. So I wouldn't feel normal. So Leonardo says hello to the Watchman. Yep, there you go. That's funny. I hope he's doing good. Ozarks have great trout fishing there. Okay, I've never been down in that area, so but like I said, I've been a lot of places. Like I said, last year when I went on that trip, I'd never been to the Grand Canyon, so I got to see the Grand Canyon, which was pretty cool. So plenty of mountains in Oregon. No, I know they have a lot of but that's I've never been up that way. Never been up that way. Arizona has lots of sunshine. Yeah, but it's too flat. I couldn't deal with that flat all the time. Oh, no way. I like Arizona. I've been there, like I said, but I just too flat. I can't deal with that. Now, Utah was pretty cool. I got to tell you that. It was not a lot of trees where we were at, but very, very cool. Some beautiful scenery up in Utah. It was unbelievable. That's the whole thing. Everybody's always, and this is what I want you guys to think about. People always talk about going on vacation, going overseas, seeing all this stuff. There's so much to see in the continental United States that is unbelievable. You could spend years, literally, going to different places and seeing something different, and that type of stuff. So, Oh, in Brutal Country, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Yeah, I'm sure that is up in that area. But no, there's some really, really cool things to see around the country. And I think it's really neat. And to get a chance to go out and meet other people from other parts of the country. And so because I like to talk, obviously, I like to hear what they think, about where they're at and what's going on and all that type of stuff. I think that's pretty cool. And so that I always love to do that. I always love to talk with people. And, and then when and of course, it's always inevitable. Well, where are you from? And when I say New York, they automatically assume New York City. It's amazing how many people assume that when you say that you're from New York. And it's like, no, I'm a country boy, so they think that that's pretty neat. Yeah, there's beautiful places all over the U.S. Ricky Smith's. Yep. Absolutely, Ricky. There sure is. I mean, this country is unbelievable. It's just there's some really, really cool things to see. Great food. And that's the thing too. You go to different parts of the country. Like so when we went to, we were in Vegas, when I did my motorcycle tour. So we started in Vegas, and Gary, the other guy that I was working with, he had taken us. He said, we're going to go to this place. We haven't been here. He says, but we're going to try the barbecue. And I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. Oh my God, the barbecue in this place was, literally, You think barbecue and it's like so hard to eat it off the bone. It peeled off the bone. I mean, it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And but like I said, you go to different places and try the local food in those areas. You got to be open minded to do that, But it's like I think that that's really cool. And like I said, we got such an awesome country here, guys. I mean, if anybody that's come over here, from overseas or wherever. There is a tremendous amount. I mean, really, unfortunately on the news, what do we see all the time? We see nothing but negative, negative, negative. Okay. There's a lot of fantastic people all over this country, north, south, east, and west. A lot of great people, and a lot of people all over the world that just want one thing. They want to live and be happy, and be at peace. And I think most people are looking for that. Let's see. Love the hills of the Southeast. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's like going I mean, because guys, I ride a Harley. With going and riding here, with the hills and stuff like that, and the twists and the turns, it's a lot of fun. It's very, very enjoyable. Really enjoyable. Oh yeah, Dirty Job Show illustrated how nice most people are. Yeah, and you know what? They really, truly are. Here's the thing is, you're going to get a-holes no matter where you go. I don't care, small towns, suburbia, big cities, you're always going to find, there's always going to be one. Okay. There's always going to be that one. But for the most part, all over this country, people are fantastic, The U.S. is awesome. Yep. I think so too. And like I said, I've been all over this country. And I've met some really awesome people. Like when I had graduated nursing school and we were down in Daytona Beach, you got people vacationing from all over the world, all over the country, getting away from the cold weather because it was December. And, they go down to Florida. And so we were talking to some people. And that's why I was talking about the Upper Peninsula. And there was these two girls, they were like maybe 20. And me and my ex were talking with them because we were sharing a hot tub, so you're sharing a hot tub, you start talking with people. And so, they were from the Upper Peninsula, and they were talking about that. And it was really, really cool. And like I said, it's so neat to meet different people. Like when I did the motorcycle tour and the people that I met that were from the UK, both groups, absolutely awesome people. I can't say enough about them. They were fantastic. And it was really, really cool. And they were just the nicest freaking people. And it was nice to get their perspective on things, from their point of view, from being in another country, looking at our country. So that's kind of neat too. But again, you need to be able to say, well, tell me what you think. And then, not shut them down if they disagree with you, what I mean? Or you disagree with them. You've got to, people have that right to think whatever they want. So. Too much snow in the upper Michigan. Yeah, they get a lot of snow up there. I know that. I'm an a-hole, so I can weed them out pretty fast. Yeah, I have a tendency to be that way myself, Mike, at times, if I have to be. I always say this: I'm going to be nice until it's time not to be nice. And so if you flip that switch, that's not always a good day. But I'm always going to try to be nice first, but sometimes, unfortunately, people need to have an attitude readjustment is what I like to call it. If they need an attitude readjustment, I have no problem. I've never had a problem giving somebody one. So Maine is beautiful. Now I'm going to tell you what, Happy Elf, I have not been to Maine, but that is on my list. I definitely want to get up the East Coast through Connecticut, Maine, Rhode Island, all through that area. I want to check that whole area out. That is definitely on my list, and I want to see that area before I die. And I will. I absolutely will do that. Why did the chicken cross the road to prove to the possum it could be done? That's funny. I like that. That's funny. Got to come to Fairfield County. Okay. I will have to check that out, Brian. Yeah, like I said, there's so many cool things. I'm going to tell you what, I want to go check out the lighthouses along the coast, eat lobster, right there out of the ocean. Can't wait to. I love seafood, so absolutely, that's one of my things. I absolutely love seafood. So yeah, I never been to Maine, never been up that way. Now Heather's been to Boston. She did a trip for school, went to Boston. So, but that's one of the things I told them. We got to do it in the warm weather because I'm not doing it at this time of year. So, but I definitely want to get up that way, and I want to check that out. I think it'd be fun. Oh yeah, ride up through that area. I think that'd be a blast. Absolutely, I think it would be a blast. We're known for our lobster up here. LOL. I bet you are. A lobster. Yeah, it's lobster. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I love it. Absolutely love it. So I'll tell you something really funny. My ex-wife did not like seafood, and I love seafood. So in the course of the 11 years that we were together, I went to Red Lobster twice. When she left, probably the first 6 weeks after she left, I went to Red Lobster like 3 times. I was gonna. Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Jen, that's funny. Yeah, I know you got to say it like a New Englander. So, but I probably had Red Lobster like 3 times in the first 6 weeks after she was gone. I love it. I love it. I love visiting lighthouses as well. It's just something different to do that you haven't done. So I think that's why I think it's cool. And get the pictures and the videos and again, talk to the locals, find out, what it's like living there and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. Acting like a machine when he has to. I think we all do when we have to. I think when those times come, you do what you have to do. But again, like I said, if I can avoid something, I'm going to avoid it. Always have tried to be that way. In my entire life, I started one fight. And that one fight I started is the only one I've ever lost. So, I generally, like I said, I try to avoid problems if I can, just because it's not worth it. No, because you know what? In the end, nobody wins in a fight. Nobody wins in a fight. And if you go too far and that person gets killed or something, then you go to prison. So, is that worth it? It's not, But that comes with maturity too, hopefully. Hopefully you get to a point where you go, yeah, no. Lower Alabama. Well, my first comment was too long. So anyway, shorter version. Yes, I do believe air pollution can have an adverse effect on our brain function as well as our breathing. Oh, yeah, exactly. Especially with our breathing too. Breathing all that crap in. It's almost like smoking, you're breathing all that foul stuff into your lungs all the time. Yeah, that is definitely not a good thing at all. And it's like I said, if you can do it in any way, shape, or form, get away from those cities. Get away. Red Lobster is my favorite. Oh, I'll tell you what, the biscuits too. The biscuits they make at Red Lobster, awesome. Love those. So, but yeah, so it's just if you can get away from the cities, and like I said, the peace of mind is huge, and in the calmness, and just being away from the silliness, and and again, because you're dealing with so many people packed in together, people have a tendency to be more angry. They're frustrated. They're and it's just not a good way to live. It's just absolutely not a good way to live. All right, I'm going to ask again here. What are we at? 290 on the thumbs up. If you haven't shot us a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would appreciate it. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to hit we're not hitting 400 today, I don't think. We don't have a whole lot of people in today like we normally do, but that's okay. It happens. Probably everybody's watching football. And yes, my Cowboys lost today. Very frustrating. But Philly lost too, which is great, so we're still in first. So, yep, Seahawks beat the Eagles. Yep, I was very happy about that. Yep, so whoever wins the NFC East is going to be horrible in the playoffs. There are so many much better teams, but you know what? If you can get in, you got a shot. Because if somebody gets on a run, I mean, if you guys remember the year, I'm going to talk football for a second. The Giants were 9-7, and got into the playoffs as a wild card, and they went on and they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. So you just never know. Yeah, I saw the Browns won. Yep, their team's getting better. Team's getting better. There's some good teams out there, but I didn't think the Cowboys were going to win today. I was hopeful. I was, hoping that they would. Then when I saw that Tom Brady was playing, I was like, yeah, well, that's probably not going to happen. So, hey, Karen Hill. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hey, you have a great night. It's about peaking at the right time. Actually, absolutely, JJ. If you get on that run and there's no stopping, there's some great teams. There's some really good teams this year. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, New England's there every year. Tom Brady, until he retires, they're unbelievable. He's a great player. Great player. But time's flying tonight. Yeah, it's amazing how fast the time goes by when we do these talks. Absolutely amazing to me how fast it goes. So I got to tell you, okay, so the plan's coming up. So this week, hopefully, I got to talk to my neighbor again because he knows the place that I need to call because my regular guy can't bring me in the dirt. So I got to get the dirt. I want to try to get the dirt in here this week. If I can get the dirt in here this week, get it all leveled out, then I can start putting up the greenhouse. And so I want to get the greenhouse up. And then I'm going to take that. I'm going to tell you right now what I'm going to do. Wherever I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put the greenhouse, and right in the center, I'm going to take that fish tank and I'm going to put it right in there first before we get started because it is it's pretty big. And so it's a 240 gallon tank. And so, but when I get going with this, guys, I'm going to probably put things together for the aquaponics system, but not start running it yet. I'm not going to start running it probably, until, I'm not going to start running it until I can get the geothermal in. That's when I'm going to start running the aquaponics. So what I'll probably end up doing in the spring is I'm going to start seedlings and stuff like that, and have traditional greenhouse, if you will. And then I'm going to have part of it that way for right now, and then part of it is going to be the aquaponics. Once I can get the geothermal in and get everything set up and then get the aquaponics going, that's when I'll get that whole part of it going. I cannot wait to do the whole thing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a major, major learning curve for me, and that way I can learn. And as I learn, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it as well. And I think it'll be awesome. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. And I'm going to experiment. I'm going to see again, here's the best thing about it too. And this is what I always talk about, guys. And this is really important. I want you to listen to this. Learning what works now and doesn't work now while it's not life or death. Okay. That's the time to learn. Make your mistakes. Go, I made a mistake. Big deal. We move on and we go on to the next thing. But figuring it out now when it's not life or death is the best time to experiment and learn. So when that time comes, you can just go ahead and do what you got to do. And I think that's really, really important to be able to do that. I love you, PN1. You're a great person. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. First, mark the foundation. Mark that where you move the tank. Oh, absolutely. I'm going to mark where we're going to put everything, first, and then I'm going to put the tank in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do this at this point because that way will give us a few more minutes to talk afterwards. But I'm going to ask for another thumbs up yet. We're at 335. Let's see if we can't hit 400 tonight. So if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do so. I got to do our We Are Legion part because I'm going to show you. I'm going to stand up here a little bit so you can see the shirt. We Are Legion. Preppers. We Are Legion. Okay. Hey, L. Gibson. Most cities' air is better than the 70s and 80s. So why does it seem that folks are getting dumber every day? You know what? It could be the foods. L. Gibson, thank you very much for that donation as well. It could be the foods. What they're taking in, the dumbing down of the schools. They're making kids just idiots. TV, Kevin H. said, yeah, TV, inactivity. Think about when we were kids growing up in the 70s and the 80s, okay, or earlier. You were outside, you were playing constantly, always doing something very, very active. Nowadays, these kids, they sit around, they play games on, with their Xbox or whatever else the latest gadget is, and they play. That's what they do. And so they're not as active as they were when we were growing up. And I think that makes a big difference. Fluoride in the water, absolutely, that makes a difference as well. So there's a lot of factors, I think, now that go into causing people to not be as intelligent. But definitely air quality does make a difference as well, if you're breathing in that nonsense. So anyway, let me get to this part, and then we'll keep talking in a minute. So we are Legion because we are many, all right? We are from all over this country, all over the world. There's so many of us out here, and we are the ones that are awake. So where's everybody from tonight? So let's see where everybody's from all over. That's Sodish, Michigan, Montreal, Canada, Mobile, Alabama, Liberty Hills, Texas, Ohio, Syracuse, New York, New Jersey, Minnesota, Lima, Ohio. We got Georgia, Stockton, California, Farmington, New York, Southwest Minnesota, Kentucky, New Hampshire, Pekin, Ohio, New York, Sheffield, Illinois, Oklahoma. Let's see, Tilson, New York, Fairlawn, Utah, Oregon, New Mexico, Northern Maine, Chicago, Queen, Arizona, Ransomville, New York, Maryland, Simeon, Ontario, Maine, Oregon, Oklahoma, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, Trenton, Georgia, South Texas, Chicago, Houston, West Virginia, Florida, California, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Illinois, Seattle, Washington. We got Texas, Georgia again, West Virginia, Ohio, Iowa, Oklahoma. So all over the place, guys. We are all over the place, all over the world, all over the country, and we are the ones that are awake. And we're the ones that can make a difference when that time comes. We really can. And I think it's important that we try to do that when that time comes. We've been awakened for a reason. We got Central Indiana, Southeast Kentucky. Sunday night title or tithe for the group that freely expresses their love to Mother Earth and nature. For the greenhouse, I'm a greenhouse high. Oh, very cool. Thank you very much. And I got to make sure I say your name on here. And thank you for it. It's Mo Cowboys 55. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you very much for that donation. And you know what? Like I said, everything, anytime you guys make a donation, either be it here on the website, whatever, just by watching the videos, okay, watching the stupid commercials, and I know they're a pain, that's given us income to help continue what we're doing here. I put my money back into my property. That's what I try to do. And I think that that's important to do that, while I can, and show people that this is something that any of us can do, anybody can do, and it's awesome. We are Legion, STD. Exactly, Laura. Exactly. And it's funny too, because if you start going around telling people STD, people just look at you like, what? Which I think is fantastic, and that's why I absolutely love that acronym. It's like the best. It is absolutely the best. So. Let's see. Mountain Girl says you're doing great, Pian. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just trying. I'm just trying to do the best I can. Try to be the best father that I can for my kids. I will always, I don't care how old my kids are, what they get to at what point in their lives. If they have children of their own, I can't wait. I can wait, but I can't wait, if you know what I mean. To be a grandfather and be able to have the grandkids over and be able to say, okay, let's go feed the fish. And, little kids, man, that is like the coolest thing in the world. And, to teach them and so they learn and all that type of stuff, that is going to be so cool. And I can't wait to do that. And again, it's not just family, guys. It's not always just blood. Family are people that make you feel safe and comfortable, that you can talk with, and they're not going to have the judgments. That's what true family is about. And, so when I say we have the Prepper News One community and we're a big family, it's because we are. I did want to mention too, before I did jump off of here, Legacy is still doing that sale. They changed it over. I talked about it the other day in the video yesterday, I believe. And so they're doing the 720 meal package, which is normally $18.99 They've lowered it down to $1,099, so it's an $800 savings. So if you are interested and if you would like to do that, absolutely check it out. And plus, we're doing 20% off of any other Legacy foods on the website as well. So if you are interested, please go to my website at preppernurse1.com and check that out. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notifications, and always give us that thumbs up. That's awesome. So I do appreciate that. Do I collect rainwater? Yes, Jennifer, I do collect rainwater. I have a 550 gallon. That's my cat scratching himself. That's why the thing's moving. So that's why you're seeing that. I have a 550 gallon storage tank off for the gutters of the house, and I collect rainwater that way. I plan on using that rainwater will be for the greenhouse. It's always been for the gardens, but I will definitely use that for the greenhouse as well. I know there's going to have to be a turnover, and you're always going to have to add more water, and that's what I'm going to get that water from, is that rainwater, and use that way. So looking forward to that. I think it's going to be awesome. So what do we got here? When my children were small, they loved feeding the chickens and collecting eggs. Oh yeah, and that's the thing, is you get them involved in it at an early age like that, and it becomes second nature, and it's just what they know. Like when we got the chickens this year, Heather was like, I never thought I would like the chickens as much as I do. And I think that's really, really cool. I'm glad she liked them, and like I said, she's the one that named Goliath. So 275 gallon tote here. There you go. Hey, you know what? Collect all that water you possibly can, because it could be a difference to saving your life one day. Really, really important to have that, having different options. Now, like I said, where I'm at, I got springs all over the place up here. I have my well, and, and plus I have the rain catchment system as well. So, so I checked my water storage tank today, and it was a little low, maybe halfway. So what I did is I turned the pump on, literally for, so I plugged in the pump. I walked out to the chicken coop, checked on the chickens, came back, unplugged the pump, came back out 20 minutes later and listened, and the water was coming on its own. It's just getting that jump start for whatever reason. And then like by tomorrow, my entire tank will be completely full again. So it's kind of neat how it does that, but it just takes that. It just needs that little jump start. So it works out really, really cool. All right, guys. So here we are. We're at 366 on the thumbs up. Last push. If you haven't given us a thumbs up yet, let's see how close to 400 we can get before we jump off of here. I do want to say thank you so much to my moderators that sit on here every time I do these chats. Thank you guys for being involved. Thank you for watching over everything. Now, somebody had made a suggestion, and I'm going to absolutely do this. So while I got my moderators in here and they're listening as well, I'm going to do a separate giveaway when I do the giveaway next Friday. Just for my moderators, I'm going to give one of my moderators is going to get a $50 gift card, okay? So I wanted to put that out here too. So while we're still on here, so you guys know, the people that moderate for my channel, is my way of saying thank you for everything that you guys do, because you have no idea how much I appreciate everything that everybody does. So one of my moderators is going to also get a $50 gift card, and so I will let you guys know that, and they'll be in a separate thing, because I only got maybe 6 moderators. So I'm going to definitely do that as well. Okay, so So anyway, I appreciate them. I appreciate them being here every time and staying on top of stuff and keeping the chat clean. It does make a difference, because nobody wants to see that nastiness. Okay, so but anyway, guys, remember, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. A lot of people lose sight of that, but it really is true that we need to work together, especially when the time comes. So networking now. Working together, that's really important, okay? Also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So to tell the people that you care about every single day is really, really awesome, and it really makes a difference, okay? Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, You can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from getting there is you. Nobody else can stop you, okay? So I hope everybody's doing well. What are we at? 382. I guess we didn't make 100 tonight, but so if you haven't done it, guys, last chance to bump us up here. We'll give it another minute and see what happens. But anyway, guys, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy what I do. I love the interaction with you guys. I love learning and I love teaching and and helping you to help yourselves. That's the most important thing. Teaching you to help yourself is the best thing that we could ever possibly do. Because when the time comes, a lot of us are going to be like, oh my God, what just happened? But we'll be ready and we'll do the best we can do. Okay. So anyway, guys, I will talk to you all later. Thank you for being here. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. So we did 388 at 387. Okay.